Good morning and welcome to Manic Fishing. Right, I've just steamed out about 10 mile. It's Tuesday and I'm going to have a go. I'm on some rough ground here. I'm just going to have a go and see what's about. Not going to tempt fate. Wouldn't mind getting some Spurdogs. I'm not actually in the ground where I fish my Spurdogs. It's upper state now and low water's about 9:40, so I've got about, I don't know, a couple of hours, so I'm going to try here, see if I pick up anything, hopefully not dogfish, and then when the tide starts to move I'm going to head over to where I was getting my Spurdogs. I'm probably a couple of weeks early, but I'm going to have a try anyway, just see what's about, and there could be some taupe out here. If they are, I'm hoping they'll be big, but I'll get set up and go from there. I'll show you what I'm using. I've got a big selection of bait, and in a previous video you'll see that I made up a load of these pre-made baits that are already done with the trace already on them, so I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a couple of Kenzaki 12 to 20 rods, and I'm going to put a taupe rod out with a whole mackerel flapper and just see what's happening. Okay, so on this sort of taupe rig I've got set up, I've just got a 12-ounce lead, my boom, and about, I don't know, 5 foot of 150 mono with a 10-0 coxswain roll hook and just a muppet on there, and I'm going to fish flapper mackerel. What I've actually done here, when I got these mackerel, I don't know if you can see that, these have been vacuum sealed and frozen, but I've put some oil in there, holy mackerel oil in there, so they should have all been marinated in there. So I'm going to try that, you know, who knows. It's all rocking about a bit, it's all scent. And then obviously these are these two that I'm going to put on the other rods, which is I think on this one actually it's bluey, lug and squid, which was already made up, which I did in that sort of bait preparation video I did a few weeks ago, and so I ain't got to get my hands all dirty. I just literally clip that on and I'm away to go. I'm going to chuck the anchor in a minute. I'm just on rough ground, so it don't really matter too much, you know. Hopefully I'll draw the fish to me. So literally with these pre-made ones, all I do is just cut the bag and pull it out and it's ready to go. And just literally clip that on, and there, boom, ready. I'll just take that tail off of there, and there's the bait ready to go. That's on a pennel. Right, let's get the other one set up and then I'll chuck the anchor in. And that's the mackerel flapper. So literally I just go under the chin and straight out through his head like that. Okay, so there's no real secret here. I'm just going to chuck the anchor in. Okay, so I've just paid the anchor out, and what I do is once that anchor hits the ground I just chuck out about 10 arms lengths of rope just to allow myself, and I can feel now the boat is swinging round. So hopefully, I'll be honest, I put a lighter anchor on there. My original anchor that I got is just don't seem to fit in the cupboard, so really and truthfully it's quite a light anchor, but it's a chain that holds the anchor down, you know, so hopefully we'll hold. What I'll do is I'll put a cursor on where my boat is, and then I can see that I'm holding and I'm not drifting away from that. So once I'm happy with that, then I'll get the baits over. But I can already feel, I know I'm already holding here. So let's get these rods over. Right, so what I'll do is I think I'm going to bounce the taupe one out first and get it out further than the boat. And this is just a bit of a heavier rod, and this is a I think this is a, yeah, this is a 30 to 50 Kanzaki, just a newer one, with a Penn Fathom 30 lever drag. It's like a 2-speed reel. These are great. And I'll have this on ratchet, so just make sure my trace isn't tangled. Okay, so let's get this one over. So I'll fish this one out the back. And this has got like a 12-ounce lead on it, so I can see I'm holding perfect on there, and the lead seems fine. I'm just gonna pull that up and just bounce it out a little bit, so that's good. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this one on ratchet, so if I do get a tow, yeah, just pull that. So let's put that in that rod holder, and then I'll get the other two over. What I'm going to do, I'm going to flick this one out a little bit just so it gets away from that tote rod. So let's give it a bit of that, and I've got a rod holder here. And make sure when you're using these rod holders you lock them down. I've lost a rod like that before. So yeah, it's on the bottom there. I'm not going to give this any ratchet or anything. As I said, I'm sort of hoping for you know, maybe see if there's any Spurdogs here. If not, I might pick up a ray or whatever. We'll see. Hopefully not dogfish. So I've got 3 chances today. As I said, I may switch round. I've got some squid in there, and I've got some loads of mackerel, because I intend on, when I get down to this other mark, I intend on, you know, maybe chucking some rubby-dubby down. I've got an onion sack there. So where's this gone? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay. So I've tried to put these rods either side and that one out the back, so hopefully they won't tangle, but who knows. Right, and I can see my cursor hasn't moved. I'm completely holding, so I'm pleased with that anchor. I was a little bit worried because normally I have about I think about a 9 kilo anchor, but I've got about 35 foot of chain, and sort of the rule of thumb with anchoring is you have your chain a boat length and a half longer than your boat. So say for argument's sake this is 20 foot, this boat is a bit bigger, I think you have 30 foot of chain, yeah, I think it's only about a 4 kilo anchor I've got on there, but it fits nicely, and yeah, it just works, and it's working, so happy days. Hopefully I don't lose it. Right, let's get some fish. I don't think we're going to see much of the dog today because I've got me my Chinese heater on. Skip's out. He's just pissed up my bait. Nice. Skip's out. He's still curious, but my Pip's in there in her bed, nice and warm. The heater's set on 20 degrees, so I doubt we'll be seeing her today. But hopefully we'll get some fish. But it's just really nice to be out. It's a little bit overcast here, but it's certainly better than smashing bricks down all day. Okay, so it just looked like I was getting a little bit of a knock on this back one, which has got the whole flapper on, but I've got the clutch set, the ratchet set, so that'll should scream, but I'm not sure. Maybe that just might be just where the boat was rocking us. So the water temperature is still quite warm out here. I don't know if I can see it on my 16 degrees, so it's you know, I think if there is still some taupe about there, they're going to be quite big, but who knows, anything to do. I might switch my baits up a little bit. I might keep my ones I already made up on one rod, and I might put a mackerel flapper on this one, or a squid and whatever. Just keep changing it up a little bit. As I said, I've got about sort of 40 minutes until it goes slack water, and then I'm going to head over to this this money spot where the Spurdogs were a couple of years ago. Okay, so on these HDS units, they've got a function on there that you can put you hit the info button and it tells you wherever you are the tide. You know exactly where it is if you can see it there. So yeah, so you can see it there. So we're just coming out now and we're rising. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to stay here till about 10 o'clock. I'll give it another 45 minutes here, and then I'm going to head over to this this ground where I was catching the Spurdogs and that last year. I do find that these, if the Spurdog are there, hopefully, they do find the faster water. It's not a massive tide, it's a 6-7, so it should be moving okay there. Where it is, you know, it'll be running reasonable, but I won't have to put, you know, a pound of lead down. I can probably get away with what I'm using now. Well, I'm just going to retrieve this rod in. Feels quite heavy actually, but can't feel a lot of kicking going on. Oh, I've caught my other line and a dogfish. Oh, lovely. So this is the trouble when you're getting near slack water. You do start to catch your own line. So let's just try and get this off without messing everything up. So let's chuck that one out. That one's gone. And there is the lovely dogfish. Nicely hooked, but not quite the dog I wanted to catch. It's a Spurdog really, but anyway, beautiful looking fish. But there you go. Right, now I've just got an onion sack here. You can pick these up, I get them on Amazon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare my bait ready for when I get out to this next mark. So I'm going to chop a load of mackerel up. I've got loads and loads of bait in there and some old stuff and whatever. It's just a scent trail, and then I'll tie this up, and then what I'll do is I'll cable tie this to the anchor, and that'll let a scent trail out. And obviously you're anchored there, so all the scent is going to drift back down, hopefully down onto your baits, because it's not like I'm conger fishing, so I'm going to have my anchor 300 yards away from where I am. I'm literally going to be, you know, sort of 150 foot away, so that scent trail should run down and hopefully attract the fish. So I'm going to get myself set up and get a few mackerel chopped up ready, so I'm when I get over there I'm just ready, clip it on, and I'm away. I've just changed that over to a mackerel fillet after having that little dogfish. I put the other side of the mackerel that the fillet come off of on that little tope set up, and this one the bait weren't even touched, so I've just left that one back out. But I'm going to give it about another sort of 20 minutes. By the time I chop this up, I reckon I'm going to be moving and get round there. I'm on slack water now, so I think it's just starting to turn. So by the time I steam, I think it's about, I don't know, 25 minutes steam. So by the time I get out there, the water should be running lovely. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the onion sack inside this bucket, over this bucket, and then chop the mackerel into little chunks and then put it straight in, and then it doesn't make too much of a mess, he says. So literally put this onion sack, well, it doesn't quite wrap over, but I can do it this way. So I've got a pocket, and I'll just start chopping some mackerel up and putting it in there. Now I've just cut this rubby-dubby up. I didn't bring as much mackerel as I thought I did. I have got a few bags in there, but if I do start catching fish, I don't want to cut myself down. But I've got quite a bit in there, and I found a cuttlefish that I had in there, so I've put that in. Literally, I just say it's just for a scent trail, really. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the anchor in, and I'm going to move to this new ground and see what's happening over there. Okay, so I've just steamed out to this spot that I caught the Spurdogs last year, but like I say, they're either here or they're not. You know, I didn't get them last year. I tried 5 or 6 attempts to get them and they weren't here. The year before, on the 4th of December, I had about 14 of them in quite a quick succession. But it is what it is, you know, they're either going to be here or they're not going to be here. So we'll just have a try and see where we stand. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to see where we're going to drift. It's a little bit windy here, see where we're drifting. There's no real secret of this spot, they're there, you know, or they're not. But I'm going to tie my rubby-dubby on my anchor, cable tie it, and then I'll send that anchor down and hopefully get a scent trail going, and we'll either catch them or we catch the other dogs, which is just dogfish, which I'm hoping not, but it is what it is. I'm just blessed to be out. Sometimes on this mark it's quite hard, it's sandy area around, so sometimes the anchor don't always go in, but I'm going to try and anchor up. I'm just going to see where I'm drifting. I may anchor a fair way away. As I said, it's no real secret, the scent trail should do the work, but I'm just going to go up here a little bit and then I'll see if I'm drifting somewhere in the direction, and then I'll just whack the anchor down. Right, I can see what way I'm drifting now, so I'm just going to move myself over slightly and then whack the pick in. What I'll try and do, it's a bit tricky on my own, but I'll try and show you how I tie this round. I'll film it with my iPhone, so let's get round. Right, okay, so there's my stuff there. Let's get my anchor up here. And what I'm going to do is just going to cable tie it round here. So let me try and show you. So that's what I've done here. See, I've just cable tied that on the end of that anchor. So let's let it down. Hey. Dog's going for the anchor. Don't like the chain noise. Wait, stop it, Skip. Silly dog. He's trying to bite the rope. Leave it alone. Right, so I'm down with the anchor, so I just normally pay about 10 lengths. Put that round the bow roller and then tie it off. Yeah, the puppy, he don't like the noise of that chain. Well, I shouldn't say puppy, he's a man now, but come on out of there. Yeah, he's a proper sea dog now. He loves it. My bestie's in there, but yeah, he don't like the noise of that chain. Tries to go for it, but yeah, the rope's just coming round, so hopefully what I'll do is I'll put myself a cursor in a minute when we swing round, and just to make sure we're holding, and then we're good to go. So let's get the first bait over. This is my tote bait. I'll just pull that muppet down. So I'll let the bait run it back in the tide so it don't tangle. Make sure I'm not tangled there. Right. So we're holding good. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to try and trot this back a little bit. Okay. I'm holding sort of tight there, so let's put this on ratchet. Just so it can pull. That's it. I'll have to put that there because the line's going slightly that way. Now I'll get the other one. This one's already got my bait. That's nothing's wrong with that at all, so I'm just going to put that straight over. I'm going to try and flick this one out a little bit over the side so it just keeps away from that other rod. I didn't actually let the anchor move anymore. I thought about it and I don't want to be too far away from that scent trail, so I'm about, from where I dropped my anchor, I'm only about 100 foot away, so hopefully that trail will go down there nicely. Right, that's holding pretty good. So just want that bouncing on the bottom. and I'll get the other one, and I think I'm going to put on this one, I'm going to put squid and a mackerel fillet. So I've got three goes. Let's see exactly, you know, see what's happening. Rubby-dubby's down, pie's in the oven, Skip's inquisitive, so hopefully we'll get some dogs, not hopefully Spurdogs, but as I said, they're either going to be here or they're not going to be here, but no doubt I will get some dogfish today. Not the kind I want, but there you go, it's only fishing. Watch this space. I'll show you what's quite a handy thing to do. I've got a 2 sponges and on a bungee cord, so when you're fishing you can literally just chuck it over the side, and this will just clean off all your bait, wipe your hands, and it's quite a handy thing to have. You used to be able to buy them, bungee sponges, but can't seem to get them anymore, so I just sort of adapted it, put my own sponges on there, cheaper. And like I say, I'm not conger fishing, so I haven't got to be in a specific area. It doesn't matter if I'm swinging slightly off, I'm held, but we've sort of drifted over in the wind a little bit, but it really doesn't matter because you're on rough ground. It's not like it's you're on a wreck and you've got to stay on there, you know. It's I'm not conger fishing today, so you know, let's hope we'll pick something up. I did see a beam trawler over near by the tower, but they're a pain, but yeah, hopefully we'll see. Let's hope it doesn't turn into a dog fest today, the wrong type of dog. I can feel something on there. Probably the lovely dogfish. So the tide is really quite moving now. So I may well, I've got a 20 to 30 in there with a different style reel. These do struggle, these reels, for with big leads. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, I've got something on now. Nice. Just don't want to catch around the other line. Yeah, you struggle with this. Oh yeah. Oh dear. Well, quite a bit of tide there, but it is actually just a dogfish, quite a nice size one actually, but not really what I wanted, but there you go, I'll take it. So tough, the skin on them. Look how it wraps up. Lovely. Seem to be getting a bit of an inquiry on this one, but I think it's just dogfish and not the dogfish that I want. So I've sort of put bigger baits on to try and get rid of these, but I'm not sure. The lines went under the boat. I thought I was dragging on the anchor, but we're not, we're holding fast. So it'd be lovely to see that rod scream off, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's just being plagued with dogfish down here. It's quite overcast, but as I said, it's still better than sitting on a building site. Yeah, something's playing with it, but it's not very big. I'm not sure what it is. And hopefully this one will do what it's want to do. I don't think it's going to be a Jaws moment. tempted just to leave it and just let it do its thing. Like I say, if it is a taupe, it'll scream off, but I don't think it is. I think it's just a lovely dogfish. Right, I'm literally half a mile away from a wreck, so as you all know, my patience ain't great. Wasn't getting the Spurdogs just a little bit too early, or they're not here. This is a big pond, this sea, unfortunately, but perhaps maybe a little bit early, but I'll still keep trying. But I'm about, I don't know, about half a mile away from this wreck, so I'm going to try this now, and I'm going to whack down one of these H2O 80 gram pink slow jigs. So if there's something there, they'll nail it. Right, so I'm just on this wreck now, so let's have a drop down. I swore to myself last night I wasn't going to jump on a wreck. I just can't help myself. We'll try and see if there's something down here. We're drifting about 1.5, 1.6 knots, so not a bad drift. I'm going to keep adjusting. This wreck comes right up from sort of 100 odd foot to, we're down to about 70 foot now. So in a few more weeks I should be out with these slow jigs hitting these offshore wrecks, 30 miles plus. They're going to be big out there soon. Sort of end of December, well, right through to February really. So we should have a few weeks of hopefully some monster pollock. Yep. Oh yes. Yeah, that's nice. Lovely. I could see loads of them down there. Yeah, that's going. Just tighten my clutch slightly. Don't want it to be too tight. That feels like a nice pollock. Great. So on these rods, mate, you can't beat it. I don't care what you say. Tenru and Shimano Stella, match made in heaven. Right, I'm going to need my net. Oops. Right, I don't want to lose this. Oh, that's a chunky one. Yeah, that's a nice fat one. Look at the size of that. Oh, that is a corker. Look at that. Mate, that's a double. Look at that. That's a beauty. Yeah, well pleased with that. Well, that was a cracking pollock. So let's go back round on that same drift line. Right, so I've come back virtually on that same drift. So it was showing a few down there then. So that was a cracking pollock, that. Just going back to knowing what this is what I do, you know, lure fishing. But I do like to mix it up a bit with the bait fishing, but my patience is not great. It's not always about just catching fish, but it is nice to catch something different to dogfish. Yep. Yep. Straight in again. Nice. Another nice size one. Yeah, it's diving. I don't want to mess up losing it, just to try and get that catch cam on. Cool, mate, it's another big one. I think that one's even bigger. Look at the size of that. Look at the size of that one, mate. They're massive. Nice. Right, I'm going to do one more on this Savage gear, then I'm going to whack a slow jig on and see. I want to catch one on there, you know, just to see the difference, see if it nails it any different. Now, when you're working a slow jig, you do want to be vertical. You don't want it going right out because it won't give that flip-flop action. So I'm pretty good there where I am, and literally I don't really want to be flicking this out. It's better if it's vertical because it will flip-flop down. So let's give this a go. I'll let it hit the bottom first and then we'll start to work it. All right, I'm on the bottom, so I'll just give it a couple of turns. It's about quite vigorous movements and letting go, so that does all that affair, you know. All right, we're coming onto the wreck now. It's just coming up, so just be aware of adjusting your height if need be. I've just come up a couple of turns. I was just touching that wreck. Yeah, just nodding it there. So you've gone from 120 foot into 70 foot of water now. So where that wreck protrudes up. Quite often these pollock will smash this jig on the way down, you know. Not really when you're pulling it up, they hit it when it's fluttering going down. So I'm going to go around once more and then I think I'm going to knock it on the edge. It's up, well, it's 20 past 2. By the time I get myself set back up, I can hit that 3 o'clock lock, and yeah, start by 4 in it. So hope you're enjoying Manic fishing. Trying to get this video out every Monday. It is challenging with this weather, but please subscribe, hit that subscribe button. It's a Manic fishing logo there, and please like and leave a comment if you want to. So I've had a good day. I know last year I went out 5 times trying to get these Spurdogs and they just never seem to turn up, but I will persevere. What I'll probably do over the next few trips before I start my serious pollock fishing is do what I'm doing today, half a day anchored up and then hit a wreck and just try and save the day a little bit. As I said, my patience isn't great, you know, but you know, it's one of them, and there's only so many dogfish you can catch. You do work these slow jigs different to a lead edge, you know, to a Savage gear or a drift or whatever you're using. You do have to be quite aggressive with these to make the action, you know, where with a lighter lure or a lead head you can get away with letting it flutter in the tide because the tail does most of it. Obviously this is a rigid body. There's a bunch of fish down here now. I'll just literally, I know I said that last time, but I will just give it one more, push myself one more time in there. and then call it a day. It's always that one more fish, one more fish. Well, I've had a fantastic day anyway. Like I say, it's nice to be out, and it just ended the day with those couple of double figure pollock. Yeah, made up with that, and you will see these in action very soon. As I said, I'm going to hit them big pollock in a few weeks time, end of December right up to February. You're going to get some big ones. I mean, they're quite nice, those couple I caught, but you'll get them almost twice that size. Thanks for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, hit that Manic logo, that's the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.